What is up, everyone? We're back with episode 7. If you guys saw our community post, you'll see that episode 6 is not the last episode for the GWAD pod. But we're only giving you guys an extra episode because we saw the 22 subscribers, and we felt like we needed to put out an episode.
Jeez,
I'm just kidding,
22.
guys. We're just making that shit up. We're doing this just because we have another topic to talk about. Jonathan?
Yeah. We have another topic to talk about. We're talking about Islam, school, and whatever else to come.
And with that,
Exactly.
you can introduce him, or you can.
And here we have who we are going to refer as to
We have a special guest.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Right.
I'm Hum. I'm the special guest for, and I'll be speaking about Islam and how it's affected my life and just whatever this podcast has to offer. So, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
By the
So
way,
anything you want to be any like title you want to be called, like Islamic follower or like whatever profession
I,
title?
I guess I guess Hum's fine. Like you can just like say the actual name,
but like,
Hum.
who are you, basically?
Like who is Hums is
Yeah.
what we're saying.
So I am, like I said, guys, I'm Hum. I'm 18 years old. I guess just graduated high school, and I guess I'm at the point in my life where I'm kind of realizing like the things in my life that are important, but mostly like my purpose in life and I guess the goals that I aspire to have.
All right. So now with that, um, what do you plan to do professionally before we get into religious? Because I know it's gonna take a while to get into
Oh, you want me to
to the
explain like
religious.
my goals, like the
Exactly.
college
Yeah.
stuff?
Your goals.
Oh, sure. I am obviously going to college, but I think you already know, but I'll say it anyways. Doing nursing
So
major.
everybody else can
So
know.
my profession. Oh, right. Profession is to ultimately become a registered nurse, specifically working in the ICU, so intensive care unit. And yeah, I'll just be going to nursing school to start fall. Not going to a traditional like you do usually. So how the education system works is typically most majors you do 2 years of prerequisites, then you take like an entry exam, and then like you get into like your profession. But for me, I had a special program where it was direct entry, so that's what I'm planning to do. I'll explain more like as the podcast goes on, because like I kind of want to start off with Islam and then like kind of level it down to like education and like kind of my goals and stuff. But right now, like I'm kind of mainly locked in for like Islam and stuff. But yeah.
Cool. So you're volunteering somewhere to do that? To pursue anything, or are you just like unemployed right now?
Right now I'm not. I did it the second semester of senior year. I did an internship at a hospital. It was a student externship. It was paid. It was all right. I mean, personally, I didn't like it too much because hospital is actually kind of ghetto. Not gonna lie. Like the coworkers are like not it. Like it was like I don't know. It was just a weird
Yo, I
experience
get
to
that.
have.
Yeah, it is
Yeah, it
mad
was
ghetto.
like it was ghetto, and like I didn't expect like the health industry to kind of be like that. But at the same time, they didn't have any certifications. It was just like I was in environmental services mainly, so it was like people cleaning and like doing certain like tasks around. But yeah, it was kind of uncomfortable at first, but I guess you kind of learn to adapt. But yeah, that's what I did. It wasn't the best like experience, and I know what I'm doing has nothing to do with that. But it was, I guess, it was cool to have like a job. It was like my first official job, so I would say it was pretty good. And also, like, I guess the program we did first semester, I actually was very close to passing the exam. I mean, the passing score was 390. I think I got 383. So
How many
but like I
points
said,
off is that?
that's two questions off. So that's 7 points because each
No,
point,
points. 7 points.
yeah, but it's two questions equivalency. So I was hella close, but the reason I didn't do well, obviously, because of like I said, like as you guys know, I was like never at school these past 2 years, like junior and senior year. I guess like personal stuff too, transportation, all that sort of stuff. But I would have definitely passed. Like I said, I missed maybe over 20 days. Like I missed literally so many heavy topics, and it wasn't even hard. I just didn't get the time, unfortunately. And balancing my schedule, like time management, was something I struggled with because I was basically the only student there who had like a full AP schedule and Cat North, and I missed school, and an amalgamation of like significant events. But it's cool because right now I'm studying. Well, when I say studying, I mean not really, but I'm like studying to take it again. Yeah, I gotta pay like 150 bucks, but it is what it is. I don't really mind too much, but that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of like I kind of want to get the certification before I leave for college, like something to put on my resume. I got something to do. So yeah, I haven't really started studying for that yet. But the summer I'm just basically like chilling, not really doing too much. I guess just preparing for college, exercising. I don't go to the gym, but I guess I do home workouts and some not daily runs. I'd say like maybe 2 3 times a week. I just go for long runs. It's only been like a week or 2 weeks since I've been doing it, but yeah, it's pretty much nothing too much going on. Yeah.
Right. So what you said you've been investing in your life. What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, my life, I've kind of not realized, but it's basically mainly like school was like basically like the whole foundation of my life. It was just like going to school, getting good grades, yada yada, that type of stuff. But besides from school, I never really focused on anything, and I guess it's just been like a rough like transition and like kind of realizing like what I really want to do, because yes, I cared about school and I had the motivation to like do good things, but it's not everything. And like I feel like I prioritize that too much, but I honestly don't even blame myself. Like I don't even have any regrets because I don't blame myself for the way I was, the way I was raised. Everything I did was for a reason, and I could kind of backtrack on why like I am the way I am today. I mean, as we get into this podcast and like talk about Islam, I'll go into more depth about like specific events in my life. But yeah.
Right. Any significant reason why that change came about, like a book or a person, or because of religion? Why
Are
exactly
we
did
like
you
are we
leave?
like are we like are you like starting the transition to Islam now? Like are you like
Yeah.
you're asking like okay.
Like, why did you pivot past?
Okay.
Why did you
All
decide to make
right.
that change?
It actually wasn't figure. And I don't really know to answer this question, but um okay, let me see. I guess you guys know what Ramadan is, right? Well, you guys know. I'm
Yep.
just gonna explain to
That's
the
one
podcast.
of the pillars of Islam.
Yeah. Yes. So Ramadan, I'm explaining to the viewers. It's basically a month, holy month, where ninth Islamic month on the Islamic calendar, where Muslims fast, and the reason for that is to show their appreciation, and love for God, and it's one of the five pillars. So meaning it's mandatory. You basically have to do it. And I guess we sat during this time we sacrifice not only refraining from eating from sunset, I know, sunrise to sunset, which is I'd say probably 16, 17 hour period, but it's morely of like a month where you should like mainly focus on religion, mainly focus on like what you're grateful for in this life and kind of getting closer to God or Allah. But I would say my reflection kind of started there. And like I said, I was really burnt out with school. So what I did was I dropped. Like I said, I've had mental health problems within the past 2 to 3 years, only in high school, I'd say. I don't think that would happen in a very long time now. But during these times, for like, I guess my lowest times, so like, obviously I couldn't handle things. And like, I dropped like everything. I dropped Cat North, I dropped all my classes, like all seven of my classes. And literally, all I did was math.
7?
Yeah, I dropped everything, bro.
Why?
Because
It was too much.
yeah, it was too much. That's how bad it was. Like I had to drop every single class, high school class,
But what
and
made you? What's the pressure of doing all that?
uh, I don't know. Like I guess getting into a good college, having like high expectations for myself. Like I said, I kind of based education on my self worth. It wasn't even my family or anyone else pressuring me. It was something that I had. It was the only thing I had. I held on to education for so long. I held on to like it was something I didn't have anything else. I didn't have friends. I didn't have family. Like I didn't really have like nothing. So like I that's all I had like doing like I guess just having that satisfaction of like getting an A No, it was like, wow, I actually did something. It was like an accomplishment for me. But moving towards to dropping the grades, it was like, I mean, the classes, it was like, hey, I can't handle this. And I was just gonna do the work-based learning or whatever. Like, so I dropped Kent North, and then I had four APs, dropped one, I dropped two, and then I dropped the last one within the 3 week span. And I really had to go to preventative measures, and I really had to like, I basically, I want to say I harassed them, but it's so hard to drop your classes. They're so stingy. There's no rule, like me knowing the education system, there's no rule that prohibits you from doing it. And I'm like, hey, I can't do this. I made, I think, 5 or 6 appointments with my counselor. They're really pissed off, but I don't care because I guess I get what I want in a way of education because I know how the rules work. They can't really like gaslight me or say, "Hey, I can't do this." I'm like, where's the evidence to back it up? Because I'm like an expert on education system. Like I'm like really, I guess, kind of passionate or like very knowledgeable of how it works. So I dropped all of them. I had college level English and math both online, and I would say those are the hardest classes I've ever taken. Like it was insane. Like the expectations were crazy. If you didn't turn in something, zero. I turned in an assignment. No joke, 13 seconds late, she gave me a zero. It was only 2 points, but she
Yeah.
still gave me zero. Like, they're hella strict, bro. Like, no one understands how crazy college is and how important work ethic and time management is. I know I'm talking a lot about school, but I'm gonna transition to Islam really soon. But I'm just giving like the background of like past 6 7 months. But anyways, like I said, I had like mental health problems. They were officially diagnosed. I guess I'll share it with you guys. I'll see later, I guess. But I had like
So do
really
you think
significant.
those mental health problems? Oh, sorry to cut you off. Do you
Oh,
think
you're
those
good.
mental health problems would be like? Do you think the cause was of you, your actions, or because of society treating you that way, or something having to do with the way you were raised?
trying
Like,
to
where do
think.
you shift the control? Is it your fault, or is it? Would you say something else's fault?
I mean, it's kind of an all combination of three. The reason I dropped everything wasn't solely because I was stressed out. Yes, I was significantly burnt out. Like it was insane. I guess it was kind of like no support from like family, because like I like I'm kind of distant from them and stuff. I would blame myself, obviously, but morally, I do take responsibility for my actions, and I did put too much on my plate. Like I said, like I did too much, and I knew I mentally couldn't handle it. But I would say I don't really blame anyone. I mean, yes, it was probably because of the way I was raised, and my parents didn't really give me enough care growing up, or I didn't really have a connection with anyone, and I was kind of lonely at the time. Eh, so I would probably mainly say that it was just an amalgamation of everything that was drawn together. So I'd say yes, it's because of them. Yes, it's because of this. It was like everything factored in. One more point, when I dropped it, all I had was math and English, and yeah, I guess I just needed an English and math credit to graduate high school, right? You just need English, math, but I'm like, okay, and it was pass or fail. But as time went by, there'd be like a 3 week period of time where I did absolutely like no work. Like I didn't even open my laptop. I was like stuck in my room, It was like kind of another episode or whatever. During that time, I kind of really reflected on like my life and stuff, but it was mainly like May and June where it transitions. But moving on, I barely scraped a passing grade, if that's what you guys are talking about. And no, they did not round it. I genuinely deserved it. Like I remember I went to the library for 4 hours the day before because I needed to study for like my math final. It was really hard. It was college algebra. It was way harder. Like me and John did like AP statistics online. It was way harder than that. Like you cannot cheat online. Like it's insanely difficult. Like there's no copy and paste. Like it's a weird, very weird like on digital
I
platform,
would
but it was
say it's
impossible to
almost like
cheat.
being high.
Yeah,
Right,
it
right.
was
It's
like
almost impossible.
it was
Yeah.
impossible. I'm telling you, like you can high school, it's so easy to cheat.
And
College,
let me tell you, like, it's not like everybody wants to cheat, but it's like sometimes you just don't know how to do something, and the due date is in like 1 second, and then
yeah,
you're like,
desperate.
"Fuck, I can't get like a
Yeah,
zero,
it,
or else I'm gonna get whooped."
yeah.
You
There's
know?
desperate measures. I personally don't really believe in cheating too much. Obviously, things happen, and it's okay to do it sometimes. But obviously, you're not gonna get away with cheating for all your whole life, right? Like I mean, like you're gonna hit a roadblock where like you can't rely on it. So I don't. That's the only reason I try not to do it. Obviously, I've cheated, of course, and I had to. And the only way you can really cheat is if you have an alias or not alias. If you have an accomplice, I don't know, kind of being sneaky, or like kind of like a friend to help you. I did make a group chat because like I was trying to get answers from people. I didn't really want to. It was like basically adults, and like there's kind of like rats. So like there was this one girl where like she didn't want to help you, and like she was stingy. So like I remember calling her once, and like she was coming home from work. I'm like, hey, can you help me? I'm like, can you send the answers? I didn't do this, and she was like, no. And I was like, no. Like she didn't directly say no, but like it was kind of like it's kind of humbling a little bit because like I kind of expected them to be chilled out, but like she seemed like the type of girl who would like snitch on you in class. But moreover, like it was just really hard. I did pass, but like, I worked like my ass off. Like I don't think I've ever worked hard in a class just to pass, and like it didn't go on my transcript. It was like an S where like it's satisfactory. You didn't affect my GPA, nothing. So that grade remains, but like it's useless. I can't use it anyway. It's like stuck in like an old transcript I'm never gonna use. Like I don't even technically count that on my record of like getting grades or whatever. But and I remember I had a 59.3 the day before the last day of seniors graduate, and like I wasn't gonna graduate, right? And like
What?
they don't round grades, bro. It's 59.3. I remember Jeremy. Do you remember when I told you about
Yeah,
this?
yeah, yeah.
I was like, I genuinely thought I failed because this lady would not respond to my emails. I emailed them like so prior, and it's on a Friday, so I did it Friday morning. And she finishes grades. I see 59.3. I made a 1.8 thousand word essay explaining everything, going from what happened in my life. I needed to graduate high school. I got into this college. Like it was insane. I've never wrote something more convincing. Like if you told Jeremy, like he was like appalled by like the amount of
Yeah.
dedication.
He wrote a whole book.
It was insane. It was very professional too. And then she replies to me on Monday. She replies to me on Saturday because I included my personal PayPal worker, my counselor, everyone. And she's like, "This what was very unprofessional," and I rounded his grade because I didn't know she did, but like it doesn't tell you. Like on it's not like Power School where like you have a 89 and like when they change it, it says 90. No. Like it said 59 on Canvas and then it's 60 on my transcript, which I don't even see. Like how am I supposed to see my transcript? No one checks their college transcript as a high school student and you don't even have access to that. Like she never told me that, hey, I'm going to fix your grade. It was her fault for the lack of communication and she kind of blamed it on me saying like she gave like a very subtle and very like sneaky, not sneaky, like you know when you say something kind of mean but you're not direct about it. I don't really know the word. Like very like low key about it. Like she was like, "This is not professional." I talked to him many times, blah blah blah, due dates. Like I listened to her and then she gave me extended due dates. And by the way, you're not allowed to have any extended due dates. This depends on the professor, unless you have really special combinations, and it took me like 3 months to get those, so it was basically pointless by the time I got them. But it'll carry over on. But anyways, yeah, it was insane. Like I was so disappointed. Like I actually thought I failed high school and that I had to do summer school. And like I was panicking. I was like freaking out. Like I mean, no one saw it. I didn't leave it, but like I was like so like I was like so pissed off, but like I was like, there's no way. I was in denial. There's no way I did not graduate high school after this, after everything I've been through, after um working so hard. Like even like these kids who barely got 60s, like I was like so like shocked. Like wow, like and then like I said, I found out and I was so relieved. But the moral story was that they didn't give me communication and she scared the hell out of me. But yeah, I did pass, which was good. Then I guess senior A came. That was AP exam season, prom, graduation, that type of stuff. It was kind of chill. I was only at school like once or twice a week, basically, for like 2 hours. Like I was never at school, basically. Like I don't think I saw. I think I saw Jonathan maybe twice. I don't really remember. And then Jeremy, I saw you a little more. It was like during the afternoon and stuff. But anyways, like during that period of time, I didn't really talk to anyone. But I guess moving on to like, is like, do you guys have any questions or like last comments, I'm kind of gonna shift to Islam now. It's not required. Like,
Oh, I was gonna say like earlier when you were talking about like those college classes that like how hard they were. How do you feel about that? Like now that you're going to college and all of your classes are, do you feel like they're all gonna be like that experience?
no, because one, it was online. Two, these professors are doing it for the bread. Like, let's be honest. Like, I looked at their ratings and everything. They just want like money, bro. Like, they don't really care. But
So I'm
I'll
so
explain.
confused. Why do you put up with that? Like, why are you so tolerant of that? You like see what's wrong, but you don't exactly acknowledge another outcome other than just going to college and pursuing this. Like, haven't you ever thought of changing career paths because of just how much you have to put up with?
Good question, but I'm gonna answer Jeremy's real quick.
Okay.
Jeremy, no, because I'm taking classes I actually like. Like, I don't have to take prerequisite classes basically. Maybe intro to psych class, one English class, that's it. All my classes are like specifically nursing classes. I chose a really good program where it orientedly focuses on that. So no, every single class I'm taking, I'm totally comfortable with, and all the formats in person. So I'm very confident. Very good educators, very good ratings. Like I spent over a year, and like yeah. But anyways, what John was asking. I did, but it was before this. When I was growing up, I guess I always want to be a doctor, obviously, because that's every brown parent's dream of a child to be pretty perfect and just pursue doctor, lawyer, that type of top profession, right? Get money, American dream, that stuff. Obviously, I was a kid. I didn't really focus on this stuff until high school. I was like, okay, I'll be a doctor, whatever. But then high school comes. I think about being a doctor, like pre-med, freshman year. But there's so many roadblocks. It sounds a little nerdy, but like you gotta do calculus, physics. Hate those classes. Never taken those classes. Don't like those at all. Not even that. Organic chemistry. Like just one, the course load is very difficult. I don't like learning that type of stuff. Number two, the money. So everyone thinks FAFSA just covers everything. It doesn't. To be specific, it's a federal Pell Grant which covers 7.3K, 7.4K if you round. So it only covers maybe like one third of like your tuition if you're like low income or whatever. But it costs money to go to medical school, but not only that, it's a lot. It's a very huge investment. So you're gonna be in school for like at least 10 years because undergrad 4 years, graduate 4 years, 3 years of residency. Then there's something I forgot the word, but it's like an extra 2 years. Like you're in school for so long, and I can't handle that amount of stress of just working and doing work and assignments and grades because that's not what I want my life to be. I want my life to be flexible, and I guess like the nursing career pathway, you get like 3 12-hour shifts and like 4 days off. Like it's be very flexible for me. Like some days I can work here, but moreover, like I did think about other careers because I always knew I wanted to do something medical, but I did think about
Okay.
business. I did think
Uh-huh.
about like I thought about business and I thought about um
Is it because it doesn't give you
education.
joy?
Let me see for
Because
pre-med or like the other ones.
because you would think, well, by whether in the direction you're going, it's mainly like you need the income, you need the money,
No, no, no,
right?
not at all. No, actually, no.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes, but I mean, money is very, very, very like broad topic, and I love talking about it. And I'm later in the podcast, I'm gonna get into that money stuff because there's something Islamic associated with that. But nurses make pretty good amount of money. I'd say starting salary is around 70K, depending on what state. But like it's like I'm more than grateful to get that much. Like that's so much. Like if you think of it, I had a large family with not even a quarter of that much, and like I still have everything I have here, with like my parents working and stuff. So like, and I'm gonna be by myself, or like maybe with like my future girlfriend, wife, whatever. But like that's a good amount of money. Like the profession gives a good amount of money, but more moreover, like I said, I'm gonna save that question. I wrote it down. With business, why didn't like I do business? And that's a really good like question. But also, I guess like my also one of my goals in life is just to help people. Like I really like assisting people or like kind of like showing compassion to others. I don't really have such a strong empathy, but I like helping others in their misfortunes or like providing them with like help and ease. Like if like someone's sick, like you assist them with helping, but it's also more of like getting them like the love or like appreciation that like they never got, and I kind of can relate to that on a level because like I want to show like, hey, I care about you, you're a human being, like I feel like And there's also a shortage of male nurses, so obviously, hold on. Can you hear the background or no? Did you hear any background?
No, not really.
But I was gonna say like I guess like I want to kind of give back like to other people, and it also kind of relates to religion too, like why I want to be it. But it's morely. I'm gonna explain that later. But is there something else you want to ask? Like, is there anything else you want to shift towards? Because a lot of the questions you're asking right now are like stuff I wrote it down,
Oh,
and like I wanna
like
yeah.
purpose. You find like fulfillment in that, in helping people,
I'd say
like
yes, but
when
not
they're sick, when they're
yeah.
like crying and stuff.
Crying.
Couldn't you
So
just
sick.
couldn't you just be like a philanthropist and like donate money?
Um,
Isn't that a viable route?
He's got to make a living.
I get
uh,
that, but it's just like he's struggling so much to do it.
struggling with what?
I mean,
How am I struggling?
because like you had to like email all these people and you almost didn't pass, and then you had to take
But
all
that
these
that had
tests
nothing to
and
do.
stuff.
Yes, but that had nothing to do with the nursing pathway or what I want to do in life. That was
Oh,
specifically just math and English classes, because the
okay.
education system's flawed. I'm not gonna blame my experience. One of my experiences just on that. I know it's a little confusing, but no, that has nothing to do. That emailing stuff, that stuff, that's never gonna happen again. Obviously, that was like a one-time thing where like you know. But
Okay, one
a
time
lot of the
thing.
questions you're
Yeah.
asking right now, I have them written down right here. So it's basically like yeah, I'm gonna like answer some of your questions I didn't forget. 'Cause I kind of want to like go into depth, but is there
Okay.
anything else anyone wants to say before I
No,
keep
not
going?
really, but I could ask a
No, go
question
right
that
into
would.
Islam. Ah,
All right.
So could we start like from your childhood and religion? So
Sure.
you're
shoot,
saying
we're
that
gonna
like
take
you
forever
didn't.
to get to Islam.
What'd you say?
Hmm?
We're never gonna talk about Islam.
No, no, no. I'm saying like okay. So like the
I
thing
think
that.
I talked about education a little too much.
It's fine. Like
But like, is
so.
it fine for him? Is what I'm saying.
What do you mean?
Is that fine with you? Do you just want to get right into
No,
Islamic
I don't
learning, or do you
mind.
want
I
to
mean,
talk about
whatever Jeremy's asking me,
Right, right.
I'm
So
just here. Like I'm surprised I'm talking this much.
so you're saying in your
Yeah.
childhood that you didn't really receive that attention or
Oh, okay.
from your
Now we're
parents.
getting into
Now,
stuff.
would you
That's
say
kind of
that that
personal.
Definitely.
I don't know
religion?
about all that.
Would you
Okay,
say
so
that
growing
your
up
religion
and
connected to that a lot or like affected that?
okay, so growing up, obviously I was growing in a Muslim household. Very, it was weird. Like it wasn't really too extreme or anything. It was just like I was with single mom with my siblings. Not too much. Didn't really focus on it that much as a kid. As a kid, you're not really focused on Islam. It's not really a priority for the parent. Then I'd say around eighth, seventh, eighth grades when like I started had to fast, do this stuff. But then when I got to high school, like it's weird because like I had like an extremist like brother, so like it was like really religious and like it was to the point where it was like really toxic because every single thing I did or everything I did I'd get judged for like the most simplest things, and like it was just really toxic because that like pushed me away or like diverted me away from Islam because of my family. Well, I know it sounds kind of sad, but they're not the ones who influenced me like to follow Islam or to do it. Like, well, the reason I'm doing it's not because of them. They like pushed me away because it was just so extreme, and they basically were telling me like just because like basically I was basically told, not like actually, but I was basically told if you don't follow this you're not Muslim, if you don't follow this you're not a good Muslim, if you're not religious, if you don't do this. Like it was very like very forceful, so like I really felt like disconnected and like
Very like
Right. So
pressuring.
there wasn't like a basis for their
oh
reasoning. It was just like, just do it. Just do it, kid.
yeah, well kind
There's
of
very little
basis
like
is like yeah,
rationality.
it was
There's no
very
logic
yeah, there was no
behind their point.
rationality. Yep, no rationality. It was very toxic, so like I feel like someone's watching me, so that's why I'm like going the town, but like give me like 1 second. Let me just double check. Oh, paranoid.
That's cool. So given that, I guess he's not like, uh, I guess he's never been like. That's interesting. That gave me an idea. Like, hasn't he ever had like that one person is like telling me like you're kind of gifted or something like that?
Right.
Because it kind of sounds like he's been like like repressed or suppressed.
Are you talking about like someone in his family?
Not exactly. It's more like, how do I put it? But like it's just confusing to me how like
I'm back.
there's not a
I
single
was gone for
instance
5 minutes. Okay, I just
of
came back.
that.
Okay, so you talking? Sorry.
Yeah, I was just like curious because I was like, I haven't heard you mention like any. any like type of media, any movie, book, or like actor or somebody that's influenced you
I know. I'm
in
gonna
Oh,
some
get to
way?
that.
'Cause it all
Yeah.
sounds like all these people have been your world. Like nothing like kind of hit you. Like oh my god, that like that's a game changer. Like you know how some people watch like a movie like The Matrix or like Avatar and they have like this revelation. Like
I
I'm
know
not
there.
sure if you ever had one of
I
those,
know. No, I
like
know what you're
Fight
talking
Club or
about. I
something.
know what you mean, but it's not as significant as you, Jonathan. It's not like I read a book. I watch these YouTubers. Like I know your influences.
No,
Like
but it's just like a limiting. Like imagine you have a limiting belief. You believe this. Everybody's told you this, and then somebody presents this rational idea that makes more sense than what they're saying. You never had a time where like somebody actually made more sense than your parents, and that influenced you in some way to think differently or outside of the box.
there was, but I didn't get to that yet. There was an influence, but it's not a YouTuber or anyone. Like you'll see. Like you'll
It can be a
the
name.
question
I'm
is.
not saying a
No, I know. I'm
YouTuber.
gonna get to it, but there was someone who largely influenced me. Not 100%, but there was one
Okay,
person.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll get to that later on. But
That's cool.
what we're talking about,
you were
I
saying
really have to use.
that your family was very like forceful and it
Oh
was a
yeah, like
toxic.
they like very like TW warning for those who struggled with like childhood trauma or like abuse. I didn't personally get like physically abused. I did, but not like my mom. Like it was at one point in my life where like sophomore year, that's when like I did get beat, but it wasn't like oh you get spanked or like you get hit like discipline. It was like something else. It was like I remember like it's really hard topic to talk about, but I'll share this because you guys aren't gonna get beat. I'm just kidding. but basically, so like when I was sophomore, it was like March. That's when like my phone got taken away, ran from home, you know that type of stuff. But like I was like forced to go to the masjid. It was like 4 a.m. If you don't get up in 2 minutes, I'm gonna beat you with a stick, like an actual like stick. And like it was not my mom by the way. It's my brother, not my mom. She wouldn't do that. Like I would get like water. Like imagine like someone getting like a water and like just pouring it on you at 4 a.m. Like if you don't get up in literally 2 minutes, like beat you with the stick. Like anything you do, beat you, hit you. Like for like a week, I woke up at 4 a.m. every day going to like the masjid and like back mosque, and did not want to. Obviously, I felt forced. I felt like so uncomfortable. Like it was really like traumatic. Like I got hit. I endured like so much, and despite this, like basically my life was like at the lowest point here. Like with everything going on. Obviously, education was my escape. Getting good grades, that was the only thing that kept me where I am today. So that's why I obviously value education a lot. But more for that really made me feel like shitty about myself, and I felt so my self confidence, my
Were you treated differently when, say for example, you came home, you got an E, and then the next day you changed it up, you got an A? Were you treated differently? Is that why? You like,
no, no,
or
they
is
don't
it
check
just
my
like personal
grades
satisfaction?
for what for my grades.
Like you just got satisfaction from seeing an A.
Yes. Oh
And
yeah,
that
it
was
was
the big
me. No,
thing.
no, no. It was me only, not anyone else. Yes, it was personal satisfaction for me. I mean, I did want
Was
to
there
become
any
like
time where like you did something and they thought it was significant, like you joined a band class or sport and they thought differently of you? Or has it been like consistent? It's never been like a
been consistent. They didn't care about my education. I mean, maybe when I moved here or like when we came here first, but like they only cared about Islam. Like I was always pressured like to read Quran. I was always pressured to do this, go here, go there, do a lot of things. It was very like controlling and like very like it made you not like want to do it. You know, like it's like you purposely don't want to do it because someone's telling you to do it. If you get like that kind of vibe, but no, I didn't. They didn't. They never checked my grades. They didn't do anything. If I got a call home or something, then they would be like, "What's up?" Like they didn't care. Like they didn't even see my grades. I didn't even show my parents my grades. I think freshman year I did, but then I stopped. Like they don't know any of my academic accomplishments. They don't know like I stayed up all night to do this or that. Like they just think that like I do nothing or like they used to. Or, like like I'm very like fortunately I'm very treated at like a low level of respect. So like I'm not like a disgrace or something, but it kind of feels like that. But I'll get into more of that. But so much about school, but like I really want to divert from that because I want to talk about Islam. But okay. Anyways, I was forced to go to the masjid, this, that. My cousins were like, "Why aren't you going?" I was so sad. I didn't want to go. So many problems. I remember like locking myself in a room, getting forced, like that type of stuff. I'll talk about more after we end the call because it's very extreme. But more forward, I was very lost in life, didn't have a purpose, didn't think of Islam, yada yada. And then I guess same thing for June. Like basically, like when I graduated high school, like, I just thought about the freedom. I just thought about going to college, getting away from home, doing everything I want, feeling so restricted. But I guess fast
Okay.
forward to my last semester senior year, I met someone, an online friend. So it's from a game. They were from the UK. I guess I would consider him one of my really close friends. Kind of ironic, kind of coincidental that they have the exact same last name as me. They're also Pakistani, but I guess I would say he's my role model, and like I guess he's helped me a lot because he
He was older.
by like 2 months. Yes, we were like the same
2
age.
months.
So
What's
he
the
actually goes to
difference?
medical. So he's in the UK and he goes to the medical school. So he in the
UK,
UK
okay.
it's different. So you start like undergrads, like you get into medical school direct entry and you start from it. So like he was the oldest of like two brothers. He was like a very like responsible and like kind guy, like very nice, etc. But like he was very like
What was
I
his
was
name?
told in life.
What was his alias or his name? His gamer tag?
Um,
His name?
let's just say UT. UT is his alias, his name. UT.
Oh,
Okay,
UT, okay.
so this guy. Okay, so this
It's
guy
UT.
was probably the most.
It's UT. Why you calling him this guy? It's
Yeah,
UT,
but I was
no?
gonna say. Yeah, but I was.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, it is. So this guy, like, I was okay. So this is fine. I'll get to the topic tomorrow. Okay, so there's this thing called Deen and Dunya in Islam. So Deen, have you heard of that or no?
nah.
Okay,
Well, okay.
so Dunya, Deen means the afterlife or the hereafter. So that means everything you do in this life counts for like the paradise or heaven, right? Dunya is possessions and real life things you want in this life. And obviously, my family like focused on Dean 100% or like the past couple of years. Like
That sounds like
everything they
karma.
did, everything they did, every rationalization, every single reason was, oh, because of religion, because of this, because of that, because it was so limiting, so restricting, so hard to conform to everything, and like it made me not want to do Islam. But this guy right here had the perfect balance of both, and I never knew that was possible because it's either you're not religious or you're religious. There's no in between, and like I know there's obviously in between, but like in Islam it's very hard to see that because you either see someone who's religious or not religious. And they focus on this, focus on that. But this guy had the perfect balance. He prayed 5 times a day. He memorized the Quran. He's so influential. Like every like the way he talks. Like, obviously British accent, but like it's like such an honor to be his friend because like we just met in game and one day like I just met up with him like yo what's up and like we just became friends, like slowly like we introduced themselves, whatever. He has the same last name as me, so obviously that's something we share. He's like half Pakistani, half Arab, so he's like mixed. He's not first gen. So I feel like that's something, that's a difference. That's a huge difference. Usually, everyone here in America or everyone that's Pakistani, Indian, what's that word? Desi, um, Middle Eastern, South Asian. They're all usually first, what's that called? First gen. So that means that you have brown parents who are grown up from different countries and obviously adapting to American society and like the extremities and how to discipline your kid and everything like that, right? He was second gen, so his parents actually were from England or like London. So he was raised differently and like he had like obviously really good parents and everything, but I don't know how to explain it, but like he was just so like so understanding and like so supportive and like he made me like wanna like memorize. He made me wanna. He didn't even tell me to, but he made me like get closer with my religion. He made me realize like the importance and like he's influenced me to become a better person. And I would have to say Islam's like like having faith in Allah is the most indescribable feeling I have ever felt personally because you're having faith and you're putting all your efforts and your prayers into God or Allah. So like it just feels different. Like I feel like a changed person. Obviously, 3 4 years I'm gonna be like change. I obviously scraped the surface. Yes, I'm different. I'm a different guy than I was 8 months ago, but not significant. I mean, to me, probably significant. Like think of it as like an exponential growth. You know how it goes from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, etc. Right? Like it goes significantly doubles. Do you get what I'm saying? You guys get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what
Okay.
you're saying.
Okay. So
So it's
it's
like
like
a
that.
slow
I
growth, but
probably
you're
yeah
seeing
yeah.
progress.
I moved from like the asymptote. I'm like here. I went to 1, then I went to 2, then I went to 4. So I'm like, hey, I'm kind of high now. I'm kind of away from 0. But I just know that my potential can just keep doubling like increasing like so high, you know? Like that's where I like kind of am right now. Like in the middle of like, okay, he's kind of okay. He kind of knows he's
What's
doing
that called? The good thing? Like the good? You're talking about like this is the good that you gain in this life and then the afterlife.
Oh, Dean and Dunya.
So Dean is good or bad?
Good, good. I mean, Dunya's not
And what's
necessarily bad. Dean just means Dean just means focusing on the hereafter. So all your prayers, all your beliefs, all your like reading Quran, praying to Allah, your good deeds. Dunya is just possessions you have, money, cars, girls, that houses, that type of stuff. Like it's not
okay?
necessarily bad, but I mean obviously too much of it is bad. You can still have a good balance of Deen and Dunya. It's very hard, very, very hard. And that's where I get into the business and stocks and stuff and mangaji and that topics I'm gonna talk about in like
Oh,
probably like
so
five
it's like a
minutes.
mix of like
Yes,
not
that's the
being
one.
too
Yeah, that's the life.
materialistic.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, correct. That's the life he has. So he's very successful. His parents, his dad's a doctor, but his dad, his dad worked really hard. Obviously, like his dad, like did medical school while raising his kids, that type of stuff. His mom, I think she was something business. She started her own business, and like he's very, very successful. He's very kind guy. Like I've never met someone with so much mannerisms, and like it's insane. Like what kind of people there are here in the world, because we're in.
Yeah, I've had that
Wait,
experience.
does
Yeah,
anyone know? Does this
in
Squad
middle
Guys know what
school.
state we're in, or you don't want me to reveal it?
Nah, we
Oh,
don't. We haven't revealed that.
you just gotta, or you're gonna watch this whole entire podcast again, right? Anyways, and cut stuff off, or you're just gonna go to certain parts, be like, hey, I remember this. Like,
No, I'm watching the whole thing, but
okay, so you can cut it off. But we're like obviously in terrible. Obviously, alhamdulillah, I'm grateful for like living in America, being first gen. Obviously, of course, but okay, so the state we're in is just terrible. Like the community we're in, like the it's so scary, bro. Like the way they talk, I just feel so much, so bad. Like I could never like grow up like
Bro,
that. The
these
amount of
people are
disrespect,
hoodlums, man.
they're like
They're
they're
like
insane. Oh my god, like
they're the
it's
type of
like
people who like follow TikTok trends. They do the devious
yeah,
flicks, bro.
bro. Dude,
People are
bro,
savages.
it's like insane. Like how they're growing up. Like I'm so grateful every day that I'm not like someone like that. Like I have someone. Anyways, but we're really I was in high school, like I said, I didn't have many friends. I'm kind of in the same boat as you, John. I didn't really make any friends. I didn't
Would you say
really
you're reserved?
more context.
Like
Reserved.
reserved meaning you just value your time and you don't want others to waste it. So you prefer not to be in like parties and stuff and social gatherings.
Yes, but it's not just because of that. It's more of like I'm very picky of my friends. I'm very, very, very selective of like who I want to associate and who I don't.
Oh, okay.
My goal was, I mean, I wasn't even sure like I was really gonna speak to you, or whatever, like in my life, but Jeremy, or at least back then, or maybe just you two, whatever. I don't know. You guys were like the only people I'd somewhat stay in touch with. Like everyone that's been in high school. I mean, I wasn't really close to them in the first place. It was kind of we stuck together, you know. You're with the same people 4 years over. I didn't meet. I didn't even get to scrape the surface of what a true friend is. I didn't even get to feel that like emotion. I mean, Jeremy was like a little different, and like it was kind of roadblocks. He was like the only real friendship I had. With you, it was a little very complicated, which I'll explain after GWAD. But with Jeremy, it was like I've known him since for a long time, and like we're pretty close. And he was the only friend I felt somewhat of a connection. You as well, but only in the beginning. But for Jeremy, it was like I really felt like he was my friend. Like Jeremy's not like super 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 close to me, you know. Like maybe he made he think that way because he doesn't have we all don't have a lot of friends, like be honest, but that's not a bad thing. And like
That's wild.
I am so happy I did not conform to any TikTok like trends. I'm so happy I didn't conform to like society. Like I feel like I'm an outlier, you know. Like I'm so like blessed that like I'm the way I am. The way I am, like I'm happy like for who I am. Obviously I could use more improvement, of course, but I'm so happy I didn't conform or like hang
Right, you
out or like
protected your
I
innocence,
protected,
your
yes.
purity.
I would have to say,
Exactly.
yeah, my purity. That's what I did my entirety of high school. So like I didn't do like porn or like that type of stuff, not
That's
until like senior
that's
year.
crazy because like
What?
I mean, Jeremy, I'm like personally, I'll speak for myself because I don't know about Jeremy,
Go
but like
ahead.
I was raised on the internet. Like I owned an Xbox 360 and I had friends that I would literally feel so like such a deep connection with because I'd always get on the game after school. I didn't care about
Yeah.
homework. But
Yeah.
Jeremy, what about you? Like, would you say you grew up on the internet? Would you say like you didn't have any friends, but for some reason you hopped on Xbox and you just felt like this satisfaction from like just being in parties with all your friends, your old Xbox friends? Or
I'll
was it like,
explain, but I'll let
I
Jeremy go
don't.
first.
I don't think I did like experience that
bruh?
born on the internet thing. I did play video games, but I never had that like group of friends that I could hop on with, like at a young age, especially. Like I had friends in middle
Yeah.
school, but I always
Yeah.
felt like, how do I say it, like
So you're a little kid.
out
Who were
of
your
place.
people?
Little kid, how little? Like elementary?
I say like elementary, hell yeah. Like
Okay.
before middle school.
Well, I think
What's your social
elementary is when
circle?
I didn't really play video games. I played like mobile games and stuff, so it would only be like my cousins or friends at school, but that's it. I didn't like, yeah, I didn't grow up on the internet like that.
Yeah, I feel like I guess I did not have a phone until I was in high school. Like I was like the one person who
Same.
did not have a phone. I
Not
thought you
high
had guys when you were 12.
not
Did
high
you get your phone?
school. But like I haven't had a phone since I was like 12 maybe. I was in
Okay,
like
for me it was 15. So on my 15th birthday, I got my first phone, and like I would say that's one of the good things my parents did. I feel like a little earlier, like 7th or 8th grade, would have been perfect because high school was a little too late. But for me,
eh.
I was the most innocent kid. I didn't know what.
That
It's gonna be
oh
crazy.
that makes
I was
sense.
not.
Okay.
I did not even know what sex was until, I promise you, middle school. In this generation, everyone knows what it is, whether you're like 6 or 7. I didn't
That's
even know
because
what
they
it
grew up on
was.
the internet. Gen Z grew up on
Yes,
the internet. That's why they're so
I
like
did not.
diluted.
When I was lucky enough to, I had somewhat of a good childhood. I remember hanging out with my cousins a lot. Didn't have a phone, had nothing. I was so envious of everyone that had a phone. Elementary school was fine. I feel like some point in middle school I should have gotten it. I feel like I've been a little bit more fair, just in this
What about like a
generation.
computer or a
Yeah, I
laptop?
did. Yeah. I not my
You
own,
never
but
wanted to like sneak on that and watch some stuff that you're not allowed to?
no, I was allowed to use. Okay, I wasn't like an, yeah, I wasn't like an Amish guy who like had no disconnection like that. But it was like
Right. I only had
I
an iPad
did. I
for
played. I
games.
remember that. It was a teal mini iPad
Bruh,
mini. I
Yeah,
remember
iPad
that.
Mini. I mentioned
Yeah,
that
I
in
remember that.
our cast.
Yeah,
let's play in Crossy Road on the iPad.
Minecraft. I remember in 2016 you were sending me like.
Ew.
I remember in 2016 I saw the messages from Facebook. Like me and Jeremy used to text on Facebook. Like I
Right.
was even allowed to have
Nah.
it. I like didn't get. I saw the old messages, and like Jeremy would say the most cringiest shit. But I would say XD.
Bro, everyone used to say that shit
I
back
know,
then.
I'm just joking. Bro, I said lol. No, bro actually said XD. And like,
Yeah.
I got my first, I think 8th grade when I got my first laptop. It was a Chromebook. I did play like on my family
How
laptop. I
old were
did
you?
play games on the computer. I played Club Penguin, Animal Jam, Pop Tropica. I was those 3D games. Mini Clip maybe, Pop Tropica. God, that was so nostalgic. But anyways, like I was very innocent and pure. I didn't want to know what terms mean. Like this is very. You know what I'm gonna say. This is like a very like.
The internet wasn't that bad back then, though.
Yeah, it wasn't bad
It
bad.
wasn't that
This
diluted.
word, yeah, this word was this. I mean, it's very common. Everyone like come like those words, but like very like specific. Like that's fine if I know what that means. It's fine. But like I didn't want to know what certain terms or things meant, so I would purposely stay away like kind of from the internet. Didn't really use Instagram, TikTok. Like I deleted that stuff. I want to preserve my innocence, and because the reason I did that was because I felt like I was growing up too fast. I didn't want to be like society, and I want to be like really pure. Like I just want to be like really like just good-hearted, and like I didn't want to like, be vulgar or like have these thoughts because I want to preserve my innocence, and I did that. I was successful. I think until the age of 17, 18, to where it kind of discriminated, but it was a perfect time because like for porn. Sorry, I just in case someone's listening. Like, you heard what I said, right? The word.
I
It's
heard it.
because I'm not scared. I can say it. It's just porn.
Just say the P word.
It's like porn. P word. Okay,
Adult.
P
You could
word.
just say adult sites.
Right.
Adult,
Yeah.
adult sites. Okay, like I'm not really gonna talk about that on here, but
You
like
can.
I didn't. No, I know. I didn't really do that stuff until I was like 17, 18. I didn't really discover that type of part. My hormones were not
Was it
developed at all.
curiosity? What
Yeah, it's
drove you to
also
like hop on?
Hop
was
on?
Just
horny.
seeing it
That's
somewhere.
crazy. That
I was a
is a
horny. I
crazy
was a
Well,
way.
like,
horny.
do you think bro
I was
just
so
slips up and
horny.
like types,
I was a
"Oops,"
horny motherfucker. Say no.
Yo.
he couldn't contain it,
That is
Okay,
crazy.
obviously. Okay,
bro
I'm
went on
just
a
joking.
massacre.
Okay, one hormones. I mean, I'm a late
Okay,
bloomer,
yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm about to be 19, so obviously my hormones did not drive and did not pick up till this year. Like a couple months ago. Like I kind of like experiencing puberty. Like actually, like cause like I'm very. I'm usually I'm
So you
older than
felt like
both
you had
you.
to address it.
Hmm?
You had to, like, address those needs, those wants
Oh
that your
yeah, yeah. I
body was
guess
like
just like play. Yeah, yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
like
My body
sexual
was like
needs.
that. Yeah, sexual needs, whatever that. Sex drive, libido, that type of stuff. It was very high. A little personal,
Ah,
but yeah.
Yeah, I might have
I
to
know you
cut that
guys.
shit
You
out.
guys.
Oh, yeah.
You
it was
guys.
too
I know
high.
you. So anyways, yeah. I guess hormones and that stuff. Hopefully my mom didn't hear me. That would make me feel good. Okay. anyways, yeah, I didn't really start growing up, and like I remember like I was so annoying. I was so annoying when I was with
You
guys'
remember
friends.
Clyde?
Yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
dude.
I remember you were so interested when he was like, "I'm not a virgin." You were like, "What?"
Bro, I forgot
You were like,
about
"What
that
was it
dude.
like?"
So Clyde was a guy named Damon. He lived like a couple of houses from my street. Um, like he was like he knew me like I guess he knew my brother, but like he was a cool ass dude. Guy. Not gonna lie, like I don't know if I'd be friends with him, but like he was cool. Like he's like that kind of like he was like father like manslaughtered someone. Like it was a really interesting story. So like his backstory is wild. But like I did feel some I did feel some empathy because I felt bad because like his wife
Felt
was
bad?
like
Oh,
I feel like a
yeah.
connection that I share is like not having a father figure in your life. I mean, it's so weird because like I guess something I can share empathy with is I guess not having a father figure, or like knowing what it's like having a single parent and like the disparities and the arguments and that type of stuff. I know what it is. Like I kind of felt like bad for him. Like wow, his dad went to jail for manslaughtering someone. I know. Wait, Jeremy, you probably know what it means, but I'll say it anyway. Basically, it means you kill someone, but with your bare hands, not like any
Right,
weapons
yeah.
or anything. Okay, okay, okay. But anyways, where was I? I have so much to talk about that I lost track.
You're talking about empathy of Clyde
No, no, before
situation.
that, it was before you brought up Clyde. 'Cause you got me off track. Like I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
mind.
yeah.
You were
Yeah,
annoying.
because
You were annoying.
we're recording. Oh, I was annoying. Yeah, like I feel bad. Like I annoyed you guys so much. I didn't even realize it. Like I was so pure. Like I was like, what does this mean? What's I mean? I cannot imagine like how annoying that is. And like you guys had really, I will admit, you guys had really strong
What do you
tolerance.
call that? Like an airhead? I guess you'd say. Yeah,
Airhead?
like an anime. Yeah, in anime they'd call it an airhead, where somebody is just like a dunce. He just doesn't
Yeah,
know a
I
lot.
was really like I was very like
It's wild.
uneducated.
You were like
I was
you would
like,
think like a 4.0 kid would be like, and then you just add, he doesn't know what the word like this
uh,
means, and he's like, what?
okay, yeah, I was very underdeveloped. I was very insecure. I remember when I used to play Xbox with John,
Choose,
I
choose.
couldn't even mute my mic. Like I was that insecure. Like I didn't want to show my face, didn't want to show my name. I didn't want to. Do you remember that? Do you remember when like I couldn't unmute my mic because like I was so scared. Like I was so insecure of like how I sounded. I was like I sound weird. I sound gay. Sound something like that. Like do you remember that or not really?
Me?
Yeah. Do you remember when I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
unmute my mic? Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
I was so insecure, bro. Like, oh my god, like it's like cringe, like seeing like
I
how I
get
was
that though,
back
because
then.
it's such a
And
lack
I
of a masculine
definitely,
figure.
definitely understand why you didn't want to be associated with me. I don't even blame you. I was so like oblivious and naive, and I thought like you were kind of a jerk for it, and like I just thought I did everything I could and stuff.
Do
Like
you
I never
regret not
actually,
conforming though? Because it just like
absolutely
disrupted the
not.
flow.
No, I feel like that's where religion comes in. I
You
feel
don't
like
think you
everything.
missed out?
Oh no, not at all.
Oh, okay, okay,
Zero.
that's important. So
I
there's no
feel like.
regret.
Oh, no regret. I feel like everything happens for a reason, and I feel like Allah, like, I want to talk about Islam so badly, but I'm like talking about my whole life right now. It's like,
Right.
anyways, where Islam kicks in was basically when I graduated, or that's what that guy, the UT guy, he really
UT,
helped me.
okay.
Like, yeah, he really like like memorizing like the 90 names of Allah. Like that's something I want to do, and that's something I'm studying right now. Like the names and the definitions. Like it's like there's a thing called a sunnah. So a sunnah means it's not required, but it's highly recommended. It's what the Prophet Muhammad did, which is basically Jesus. But what you oh yeah, what you notice in Islam versus Christianity, it's very different. No one like ever dares to mock, make fun of, clown of, shame. No one ever disrespects like God or anything. But you'll see like
No.
in Christianity, it's like I mean, I'll give credit to Jonathan for saying this because I watched half of the podcast. He said like they clown him or like they clown like Jesus or like make memes out of them and stuff. Like we
Yeah,
never
they're
do that
very
here. Like we're
like
very
tolerant
we're very
of
very conservative,
behaviors.
not forceful
Exactly.
but conservative. Very conservative. We're very strict about that. Like I wouldn't be okay. Like if Jeremy like made a joke, I'd be like, nah, I don't agree with
Right.
that. You know, like
Yeah.
I would be
But
like,
I feel like
I would straight up tell
Christians
you like, yo,
also would be that way. Like they would get defensive, but I get what you're saying. Like other
it's
people who aren't
different
part of that.
because
It's in the media. Like it's not
Right.
portrayed.
yeah, you'll
Like
never
they
yeah. I'm
portray
saying it's
like Jesus
very
as a joke.
yeah.
Right.
But
Okay.
like
It's not
whereas like
everyone, but it's a
with
lot of
Allah,
people.
nobody makes fun
Yes,
of Allah. You will
yes, but
never see a meme
the
of
thing
Allah.
that I also love is like about Islam is that like it was never changed. The book was never changed. When for the Bible, there's so
Oh,
many
that's
different. There's
important.
so many different verses. There's so many
Variations, yeah.
different variations. Everything's different.
New
This that
Testament,
that.
yeah.
And if you sin, like if you sin, excuse me, if you sin in like Christianity, it's not really a big deal, you know. It's like whatever you sin, you sin. But in
Like
like Islam, it's
loopholes.
different. Yeah, there's always loopholes. But Islam is like it's very conservative. That's how I like it. There's rules, there's regulations. But the thing is, you're not supposed to judge someone or expose someone's sins. So let's say I've had a friend who is a sinful Muslim. Let's say they're a good person, but they like, let's say they don't pray or they have like a girlfriend, something like that, right? Like I wouldn't judge them. I would like try to, but like for me, it's like I value. This is where we're going. My throat hurts, but I really value Islam. Like it's my identity. It's like who. It's like it makes me like who I am. It's something I want to follow. I want to balance my dunya, which is like becoming a nurse, going to college, having a good life, finding the right girl for me, and then Deen is getting my five prayers, the salahs, all the five pillars. Like I want to become more religious, growing a beard. I don't shave. I've shaved maybe twice, but like that's because like it's like you know when you like first grow hair and you just shave it just because it looks weird, right? So it's like
Yeah.
I haven't been able to grow a beard yet. I want to. Like I really want like a beard. Like that's what I want. Like that's obviously it's genetics and it's whenever my hormones or puberty or whatever. But that's what I want. Like it's like a sunnet type of beard, like all that type of stuff. I really want to become more religious, know more about our religion. Like I was always so I wouldn't say I was whitewashed because whitewashed means you're conforming to American society, and I was just in between. Maybe a little some whitewash up. I'm proud to say I wasn't completely whitewashed or like Americanized. You know, like I'm becoming more closer with like my religion and my ethnicity. Like I'm from Pakistan, obviously, but I don't know much of my language because my parents. I don't know. Like they speak to me in Urdu and I respond in English. Like I know very little terms, so like I really want to like know my language, and I've been like kind of practicing with them. Like,
Right.
hey, like knowing
I
terms.
can
Oh, you're
relate to
back.
that too. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
I mean, for you, you're Spanish. You guys
Right.
spoke Spanish is
But
pretty good. My
I
Urdu is
usually
very
respond in
broken.
English. Well,
Yeah.
it's like
Oh, that's good.
Spanglish what people say. But
Yeah. For me, it's like I really want to like know more about my culture and like my food, everything, like my ancestors. Like I'm very invested in that. Very so happy and proud like of who I am and like I want to embrace it. Like I can't yet, and I can't influence people because I don't have that power yet, and I want to soon. But the UT guy, like I said, like he knew my struggles. He knew what it's like being like a first generation person in a different country doing this. Like he had a lot of experiences, and like he was just always there to support me. And like we basically we text on a regular basis. Almost, he's very busy though. Like he'll be like doing his medical work, his exams. He's so good at time management. Like it's insane. Like he has like so much going on, and like it kind of sounds crazy, but we do plan to meet up at one point, and it's like so weird because like I know Jonathan's closest friend online was Comeback, but I feel like it was even stronger than that. Even though it's only been a couple of months since I met him, like I know it's a very strong assumption, but like or it's like kind of on par, but like it was like very influential. Like he's the reason why. Like I feel like like he saved me. Like I feel like he was the reason why I really wanted to like go into Islam. And like he never actually directly told me to, but like just knowing his whole life and like how much he's accomplished, it just inspired me. And like he was just so supportive along the way. and like he's just like a really good guy. And then oh yeah, also I don't really have too much to speak about him because I don't. I'll say that for another day. But so there's this thing called Juma. You ever heard of that, Jonathan, or no? Juma?
Are
No.
these like sub? These aren't like the main pillars, right?
No, 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 it's not. It's
No,
called Juma. So
these are
that's
really niche.
it's Friday. I think it's Friday in Arabic. I don't know, 100%. So it's like every Friday there's
Repeat
a
their word.
special Juma. G-U-M.
Ju
Juma. Juma.
Junma.
Juma. Juma means you go
Juma. Okay.
read, you go pray at a mosque every Friday. It's a special namaz after Zohar namaz. That's one of the
Was this
five.
how like you said this is what the prophet did, but it's not necessary? I mean, this is what
No, 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 no,
Muhammad
no.
or like.
That's necessary. Going to praying 5 times a day is necessary. That's necessary.
Oh,
That's
you have
something
to
you have to
pray,
do.
or do you read
Yeah,
the Quran,
pray, pray. I mean, technically, you're supposed to
or
read the
both?
Quran, but it's
You
very
just pray at the mosque. What
subjective.
do you do at the
But
mosque?
okay, so I was gonna finish. So I go to
You
Juma
guys high
namaz, which
five.
is okay. So so we shake hands. But for Juma namaz,
Yeah.
you for Juma namaz, you go every Friday, and this is the prayer that's after Zohar namaz. It's only on Fridays. Because Friday is the biggest blessing. That's why it's my favorite day of the week. It's when the prophet. It was when the Quran was revealed. That's when like the world's gonna end. It's gonna end on like on a Friday, like that type of stuff. It's very like a lot of history behind it.
Is
But
that true?
yeah, yeah. But
Oh man.
I said
Boy.
he said I'm fucked. Okay, but
What's
but I
today?
was gonna
It's
but I was gonna
Saturday.
say
We're alive.
like my parents don't tell me like my parents like don't tell me to go like that's like the best part like I go because I want to like I moved as you don't know coincidentally I moved into a pretty good neighborhood which is near like a lot of Muslim
Yes.
and mosque. It's like a 5-minute walk from the mosque. So every Friday I walk there. I wear like my shalvar. It's called a there's a thobe which covers the whole, and there's shalvar which is two parts. I wear like a shalvar usually, but I go there like to read namaz, pray or whatever. And I guess like I said, it's indescribable feeling, meaning extreme or like so significant that you can't explain the meaning of. Like you feel like this like the whole point of life is like having faith. Like there's not actually proof that
It's like a
there's a
union.
second life. I wouldn't say kind of. I can show
It's not that
pictures
deep though.
after. Yeah, it kind of is. I know you're like, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
What do you
But
feel is what I'm saying. How would you describe
I
it?
feel, I feel like I could belong. I feel so
Community?
like proud of myself. Like going. Like I feel like
Oh,
I
okay.
feel like so. I feel like I'm actually getting better and like I'm knowing more about my religion. I feel more close. I feel closer with like Allah. I feel this spiritual connection. It's very like it's. I barely scrape the surface. Like I said, I'm not like some like scholar or someone who's achieved so much and I'm just beginning my journey. But for like Islam, like it's really helped me shape me into the person I am today. And like you know what haram is, halal and haram is, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah.
So not halal mode. I always say that to Jeremy. But like those type of jokes or whatever, like basically halal is good, haram's bad means forbidden. Like there's a lot of restrictions in haram and I usually follow most of them. One of them is like there's some of them I can't even follow because of the society. Like I said, that's where my
No
toxic
pork.
family or yeah, that's easy. But like, there's something like technically you're not really supposed to talk to the other gender, and like that's something that's impossible because like we're
Oh,
living in
yeah,
this
yeah,
society and like
yeah. I know about
it's
that.
not possible. And
You can't make
like
contact,
yeah, like
like
you can't
physical
even look
contact.
at them. Yeah, it's stupid. Like no, it's not stupid. I didn't
Look
mean to
at them.
disrespect my religion like that.
I
It's
think
not
if you
stupid,
went to like
but
Iran, you'd kind of see that a lot
no,
more than
no, you
here.
wouldn't.
Iran, really?
Well, it
That's like
depends, but
really that's like in Middle
everywhere.
East.
Yeah, I know, no, no. But I was gonna say like it's weird. Like you're supposed to follow as much as like Islam isn't a religion where you follow the rules. If you don't, you're not a Muslim. It's about like a peaceful religion, about getting close with Allah, realizing your traditional values, and being a good person in life. Everything counts. Like every little thing, whether it's lying or those are so small. Like
Wait a
it's
minute.
okay. Everyone, what?
So you're not allowed to talk to girls? What you're saying? Like as a
Yeah,
whole,
but
is there
yes,
an
but no
exception if
one.
you're young?
Yes, but until you
Okay.
reach age of puberty. But obviously, I'm not gonna follow that because no one does. Like we're living in the society, you know. Like there's if you have good intentions, it's like I guess it's fine. Like I'm
You
not
knew
gonna
a lot of
like.
girls in high school, didn't you?
I guess, but like they weren't
At least
like
they were smart.
Yeah,
They weren't
that's what I
I
like.
feel
promiscuous.
like,
That's the
yeah,
thing.
you
So there
didn't
is
talk to them
difference.
with
Between,
bad
They're not
intentions. You didn't.
promiscuous.
no, not at all. Yeah.
You weren't like, what is it called? You weren't being
Wait,
like
but
a
like, are
pick
you
me
gonna
guy.
start to like ease off on that? Like,
No, but I do want more male friends. I prefer brotherhood and male friends. There was no brotherhood here. I mean, you two were the only friends I had at a period of time that were males. So I didn't meet any guys because most of my classes were girls, but also it's because the guys weren't no Muslim guys. I really want to build a brotherhood, meaning like I want to have people that are like me. It's like Pakistani, Muslim. Like I'm gonna join Muslim Student Association like when I go to college. That's why I chose. I'm not gonna talk about college until literally 9 o'clock now because I talked about it too much. But I want to build a community or like be a part of something, you know? Because growing up here, there was mostly blacks and whites. There wasn't really much diversity, and I guess living in this generation, it's impossible not to talk to a girl. Like I'm going to, and literally nursing's literally all girls. So like
Right.
obviously I'm
So
gonna be
I have a
surrounded
question.
constantly. Yeah. So
So with not being able to talk to a girl, isn't it like arranged marriages where, like, in order to get
that's
married?
not required, but that's a tradition that
Right.
was
So how?
implemented with my parents. So my parents were arranged marriage. I mean, that obviously causes a lot of issues, but at the same time, it was normalized. So the rate of like divorce wasn't as high. I was unlucky, and usually in brown families, when I say brown, I mean Desi, and Desi means Pakistani, Indian, or Bengali, so like Middle Eastern. So for Desi families, it's not
right? So it's
the
popular
divorce
in the
rate.
first
Yeah, it's
gen.
popular. Yeah, no, no, not for first gen, for the previous generation. So it's not as common like anymore, at least in the U.S. But I'm saying back then it was. So obviously it causes you weren't, even though you just met them, the divorce rate wasn't like high, you know, like it wasn't, or at least in Islam, like almost everyone you meet will have a father or mother. For me, I didn't, but I'll explain that later. But I mean, they got divorced obviously, but it was for really really weird childhood. But moving on, like that's what I mean. My parents want that for me. I mean, like they do obviously want that. They would accept obviously that I don't have an arranged marriage at one point, and I don't because I live in America, and obviously that would be really weird, you know. I don't want like I want to meet someone who I love, you know, but I obviously have to keep it really halal, and like they're very very touchy about that. So like if I like, I'm not worried at all because I'm not even gonna look into that probably until like my last year or when I start my career, but. I do would want it. Ideally, I'd want to get married by 25. No, it's a little early, but that's not really a goal, but it's sort of an expectation, as you could say. Like by 25, have someone, you know,
Okay.
like be married. Yeah, be married by
What
25.
What about you, Jonathan?
Like, what's my age that I want
Right.
to hit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait,
When do I want to get married?
oh, wait.
Married or like
I have a
a
question. Are you? Do you want to follow what like Iman? You don't know who he is. I don't think you know Jeremy. Do you want to follow
yeah?
what Iman does? Like he like you know how he doesn't really directly say he's like in a relationship, but he has like multiple girls. Like I forgot what it's called, like poly something. But, like, are you like? Do you want that lifestyle? Like, do you want to live like Iman does? Do you want to have that type of lifestyle where it's like digital agency, like millionaire, traveling, doing like good things? Like, do you want to have that type of lifestyle? Is that what you want? Like your goal?
In terms, so it's like a mixed bag. So it's like in terms like financially what I want, and also relationship wise.
Yeah.
All right, I'll address the
I
relationship
just feel
part.
like
I don't believe in having in the commitment of like multiple wives or like
right. I agree too.
girls.
And in Islam,
I
you're
don't
actually allowed to have up to
understand
four
that.
wives. I didn't know that,
Right.
but it's stupid.
Yeah, I knew that.
Only because
I
the
knew that you
Prophet did it,
can
but
have four
it's
wives.
different. Like no one's gonna do that now, you know. That's what I'm saying. It's a very
Yeah,
touchy topic because
a lot of people try to like play it off like it's allowed, it's normal, but like I just
like,
don't see it as normal.
yeah, yeah.
I don't prefer that type of
Okay.
like I'm not the type of person that like needs multiple girls in my bed in order to feel like a man.
Yeah.
I would say I just notice that like when you're when you have wealth, when you have all this money, city has a bunch of wealthy people, and over there, it's just that people act with class. It things just change across
Really?
the board when you raise an income, when you have like more financial power.
Yeah.
People just grow civilized. If
Yes.
you notice, many of the people, like if you deal with people at Walmart, you'll notice that like they're just like savages. Like at Black Friday, they just go crazy. Whereas people who
Yeah.
pay like $1,000 for something, they seem so civilized. Like they don't complain that much or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that aspect of the fact that like people just change as you start to go up the ladder. Um, I also kind of did kind of feel a little influenced by Dubai because I was like, I've never
Yeah.
seen any city like that, and it just seems so like cool to me.
Is that where you want to
In
live?
terms of Iman, actually, I'd I'd, I'd be like a tourist. I kind of want to visit and just kind of see it,
Yeah.
but living there
A
would be
really good Muslim
expensive.
population there.
I'd have to live there in my 30s.
Dang.
I don't
Okay.
know if I'd make it to the. I don't know if I'd
Okay.
hit that point of financial security in
Okay.
my 20s.
I have some. I wouldn't say advice, but okay. So you know how you have Roblox Limited, it's like the Valk helmet and like
Oh yeah,
shit. So I would actually. I know. I kind of asked Jeremy about this. Not really, but like I played a similar game. Not. It was very similar to like the system, and like I sold items and stuff, but I wouldn't really recommend just keeping it forever. Like it won't necessarily just keep going up. The stock market always crashes. Like I know you have like really rare items, but I would recommend just trying to sell those honestly. If you're desperate, if you need like let's say like you're investing in stocks for you need like 3K, right? Like right off the bat. Like I feel like that's like your last resort. I feel like that's something you should keep as like an emergency or like
it's an asset.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's an asset. Because I made a lot. Like I know like was like talking. I didn't really hear, but like
That
like
boy was
okay, but
flexing.
think of it. If you think of it, he did make 40K, but like at what cost? Like
what?
like he didn't even graduate high school. You know, like he literally sacrificed his
Oh,
last
okay.
year of high school working full time. I mean that's pretty expected. He just
He
did
was
a
in a welding class and
yeah.
he just dropped it. He stopped going.
Dang, you should have went. I
Like
feel bad for people who like.
wild.
I just feel bad for people who don't take advantage of education, especially if you're like low income or poor, because it's extremely hard. You don't need it to be successful. High school diploma, low key, yes. A college, no. You know, because I feel like these kids that drop out, right? Like you have to have a really good reason. Like it's either like you have to take care of your family, you're sick, you can't afford tuition, something like that, or like in other poor countries, or whatever. But I feel like I value education, but not to the point where like as much as I used to. Like I still think it's a very vital, very important thing. And education system's so flawed. The things you learn, they don't teach you about like business and taxes and that type of stuff. I feel like that should be like real life skills. I feel like it definitely should be altered. But I was gonna say like so
Yeah.
he like worked full time and like you can tell like his skin got really dark from like being sun for a long
That
time.
is a
But
crazy comment.
He's not
it's
even
not.
lying though. He
It's
did. Like, he did
Yeah,
get
yeah,
darker.
so
He's
like
been in
I
the
feel
sun
like
every single day.
I'm not surprised. I mean, yes, it's cool for him. He has that much money, but if you think of it, he sacrificed his whole entire year working in labor, which is very.
Does that
I would like.
confuse
I
you?
personally could never.
You
No,
just don't
I
understand?
expected that. No, I understand. He just wanted money. Like some people don't prioritize education, and they just really don't like it. I feel like some people are a little too picky, and that you just gotta do stuff you don't like sometimes, right? No, like no one's gonna 100% like school, but like you gotta have that goal of graduating. I personally don't agree with this choice, but I mean it is what it is, you know. Like it's not me, you know. Like I did feel a little bad, not like too bad, but it's the life he wanted and it's something he chose, and he's 18, so he's responsible and knows what he wants to do.
You have
And
a
if he ever
point.
wants to go back
Yeah.
to college
He's
or
18.
yeah, if he ever wants to go back or whatever, it's his choice. But I personally don't think that's worth it. And I don't think it's impressive. It's impressive, but not to the point where I'm like, wow, like you know, like it's like it doesn't take away the fact that he did work hard and that he did put in the hours of working a full time job at that level. But
He's a laborer.
yeah, well, like it's
That's
so
what he
like yeah, it's just so unfortunate. Like I could never do that. Like
So you
I'm
don't
just
want to
not
be a
built like that.
laborer. You just don't
Oh,
understand
do
that
you know what,
mindset of having
Jeremy?
the opportunity.
Yes, Jeremy. Do you
Yeah.
know what the rat race is? I know Jonathan does,
No,
so
I
I'm asking
don't.
you.
I know what that
Okay,
is.
so of course he does. So it's basically
Do you not know what the rat race is?
bro doesn't read books. Like so, rat race is like
You're so illiterate. And you were in AP Lit, weren't you?
Yeah.
so.
What is it?
Okay, so rat race it's kind of it's basically you're working under someone. So like it's everyone like you'll see like a video. It's like a bunch of rats like all in the sewer, and like there's some with like suitcases. Some it's kind of like a hierarchy if that makes sense. So it's like you're working for a corporation. Like let's give it Walmart for example. all the rats are working in Walmart as like a sales associate or a cashier. The CEO, whoever owns, is like the successful guy because he owns a company. It's
Right.
basically like working a job and getting money or
Yeah.
income. I
I'll
know
give my
Jonathan doesn't
definition.
agree. Yeah, yeah, you can. But I don't. I know Jonathan doesn't really agree with the education system and like um that type of stuff. But I guess also something to consider is everywhere in the world there always needs to be something. Like not everyone can follow Jonathan's route. Like not everyone can do like business or entrepreneurship, right? Because if you do, obviously then like there's not gonna be enough like healthcare workers or like environmentalists or like astronauts. I don't know anything, you know. Like I feel like there's a good balance of like what there is in the world, and I feel like everyone should follow what they want. And like I totally support like Jonathan not going to college. I know it's a little risky, but like I do trust you in terms of I know why you're doing it. However, I would say like to have education as a backup, like if something goes wrong. And I know you won't, like you're confident enough, and it is really hard to like start a business or like agency, like because I know like how Iman did in his story was a little different, but I feel like, in, I said I was gonna talk about education, but you can go, you can explain your rat race definition.
Would you say
Uh,
it's
uh
ambitious or like what? What are you implying? Would you say
oh,
it's
I
it's
said
an ambitious goal,
no, I didn't say ambitious. I think I said I
it's
don't
like a
wanna.
privilege,
What is privilege? Education?
like being a businessman or aspiring to be a businessman.
Oh, I guess I would say being businessman. I would say that's a really good like career or profession you chose. Not a lot of people would do it, and it's very doable as long as you have the right resources and the right connections. And
Yeah,
college isn't necessary for that specific career. So, and you have your diploma, which is good. So, I would say like it's a good route. It's very risky, and it's like for me personally, because I don't really like taking risks too much. But I was gonna say like
the risk
it's
reward.
gonna be
Yeah,
hard the first couple of years. I know that. Like, it's just so unpredictable, you know. Like that's why I'm a little worried. Like I'm not worried like for you. Like oh my god, something bad's gonna happen. I'm not paranoid, but I just know it's gonna. You're just gonna work your ass off. I just know that like it's gonna be like a challenge for you. So like that's why I'm like worried. Like will he like how long like your parents support you? How long are you gonna live with them? Like will you have like extra money saved? Like that type of stuff. You know, logically that's what I would think in your scenario.
right. The lack of like overall security because
Yeah,
I can just have
security.
everything taken
Yes,
away
because
and I don't have a
I
back.
yeah, because I do have security, even though I have education. I still have a pretty good amount saved from my job. I have them saved from like selling items. Like I kind of know how business works, supply and demand. I'm aware of like economics. It's not necessarily like entrepreneurship, but I'm aware of like how it works because I've had experience with it. And yeah, but I
You
was
have a bit
gonna
of a schema, yeah, a little
yeah, I
bit
have a
of a
SEMA, but I
idea.
was gonna shift on to Islam, like I said, but that
Uh,
shaped me the way I am today because having faith in Allah and having I feel like everything happens for a reason. I remember in the previous podcast you asked Jeremy if he had an external crisis, meaning do you ever ponder
existential.
Existential
yes,
crisis.
oh my bad.
Existential. Yeah.
The answer is no, I don't because Allah is the only creator. He made this world and that's the belief I have. I don't ever have to ever have to second think why am
Hey,
I on this life? The reason for this life was a
yeah.
purpose to test us, to see if we'd follow Allah's orders, balancing dunya and deen, doing good deeds. Like every little good thing counts. So like I could steal something. Obviously I would steal if like very desperate, I was homeless, poor. Obviously
So
extenuating
what comes around
circumstances.
goes around.
Karma, yes, but not for
Like if
everything.
something bad happens to you, like if you're mistreated, do you just like leave the work to Allah? Like Allah will judge them or something like that? Or do you think
Yeah,
it's your
basically.
responsibility?
Why would it wouldn't be my
Or is it Allah?
responsibility. I've Allah. Allah. It's actually pronounced. I
Meaning
mean,
like
I don't mind your pronunciation, but it's prefer.
Allah.
I always it's prefer Allah, but Allah's fine. Like I know like people say Islam, it's Islam, but I don't mind different variations. Like but like I've always been afraid to correct people, but now I'm not. But I just want to let you know. You can. I don't mind personally your
How do you say it?
dialect or whatever. Like people like mispronounce
Allah.
like yeah.
How do you say it?
It's Allah. I think it's Allah.
Allah.
Yeah, and
Allah.
then and
Yeah.
then and then yeah, but I don't mind personally. Whatever you want is you want. I just want to like correct you. But I was gonna say like having that belief in Islam is that's my security. That's what makes me like go on kind of in life. Like having that spiritual belief makes me. I have very strong virtues and values in people. When I look for a friend, when I look someone that I want to associate with. I see like, hey, are they this? Are they that? I didn't meet many Muslim friends. I didn't meet any. I mean, I met one online, and that was only online. I can only imagine in person be a different experience. But I was gonna say like reaching out to my community and stuff, going to the mosque, like starting to become more religious and more connected with my culture. And it was pretty traumatizing growing up, or like extremities I endured. But part of having a family and part of having like a good life and a good house, whatever, is like I want to like raise my kids with dignity, respect, and honor. So like if I had like a daughter, like I don't want to be okay. This It's so hard to parent people, especially in this generation, because you have to be very careful about it. Because if you're too strict, your kid will hate you and they'll do bad things, and it'll cause a lot of family problems. And if you're too lenient, your kid won't listen to you, and it'll be a very weird relationship, and they'll like disrespect you or shit on you. It's very hard to have
Right.
those balance too. You really gotta know how to raise your kid, and I would not allow my kids to like date or anything like that. Not I'm gonna be honest, they're too young for that. College, maybe, especially as like a Muslim too. Like I'm gonna like teach them like Islam when they're younger. So like I know they're not gonna have time, like really read Quran and stuff like when they're older. Hopefully they will. But that's why when they're younger, I'm gonna teach them Islam, teach them all this. Maybe something to Islamic school, just as a kid. Nothing forceful. Like there's some really good ones that like it's
Read
like really
it.
fun and stuff. I would like want to educate them. And like my wife, I'd preferably want a Pakistani wife because a lot of people would disagree with me on that, surprisingly. Like
It's
a lot of
preference.
Pakistanis don't. Yes, preference. I don't have a preference right now because that's not what my worry is. Like I don't need to worry like what do I want in a girl and stuff because I'm not at that stage yet. I'm at the stage where like I'm in isolation kind of, but it's more of like my goals and stuff. But like I really I would like to have like a wife, obviously pretty and stuff. Preferably if I was taller, Pakistani definitely, because I would want to know more about my language. I want to be fluent in
Oh,
it one day. I would say within 5 years, I want to be fluent in my language because I know the words. I just don't know the like how to speak it. It's very broken, but I do have potential to grow. Like eating the food, like embracing my culture, like living like a really nice life, at the same time balancing this life too. Like my goals. It's really rare to see someone do that because it's either you're not religious and you're focusing on this, or you're super religious and you give up everything. No. But I would say like I would want to have a family one day, and I would it's very hard to raise someone. So that's why I'm saying like I feel like by the time I have a kid, I'll be responsible enough to make sure that they have all the needs that they have, and I would definitely have some money. Like I would have a pretty good amount of money. We wouldn't be like rich, but we would definitely be above middle income, I'd say. And that's what the biggest disagreement I would say we have, or not one of the biggest differences, not disagreement. So, and I don't blame you because you're not even. Hold on.
I don't hear
I had
you
to
too
move to my
much.
basement. It's a little dark, but shit, whatever. My quality's not
What
good,
did you
but
say?
I had to move to my basement because stuff like noise and whatever. Just a little paranoid, but no, my quality's ass. But
You said the wrong word.
oh my god. Oh yeah, I want to talk about vulgar words. Okay, so usually I try to refrain. Usually I try to refrain from using like bad words. Obviously I will say them, but I will limit myself. Because I don't want it to make it a hobby. And I feel like it's kind of like a superpower to me, basically, like being able to control like your words and like that type of stuff. But like I do use it once in a while. It depends on around who I'm around, but I will say it from time to time. I'll try to like refrain myself from saying it, but yeah, that's how I feel about like cuss words and stuff. Because I know I would never like cuss when I was younger. I didn't start until I was like 17. Very late.
Right.
But going back to Islam, like I don't know, it just had a very influential impact on my life. I would say not a YouTuber, not a book, just I feel like Allah like saved me and helped me. Because like when I pray or like do that type of stuff, like I just feel closer with God. If that makes sense. Like I just feel like I have a purpose in this life, and like I'm willing to like do the things. Because my family's never like really supported me, never really like checked in on me. I feel like they love me. Obviously, my mother loves me, obviously, but like I didn't feel like I got the love or care that I deserved, or like the validation, which is okay. And I've accepted long ago. I think when I was in 10th grade that I didn't have a father in my life, and I wasn't gonna let that affect me. Like, of course, growing up without one, it was rough. And then like my father coming back, and then getting sick, and then just that type of stuff. But I don't feel like disappointed in myself, or I don't feel like shitty for that because it's something I couldn't control, and I'm over that. Like I don't like when I think about my father, I just feel empathy and like pity. I don't feel like, oh, he was never here for me, he never did this. Like I just feel like truly like bad for him. Like I just try to do whatever I can. But um yeah, I guess Islam just really made me the person I am today. So I guess it just had a really influential impact in just anything I do, and like whether it's like even like lying or stealing, I second think to myself and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't do this just because it's not like I get that reassurance, and it makes me want to do more good. Of course, I make mistakes. Of course, I do sin, do stuff, masturbate, whatever. Oh shit, I said that. But I feel like I don't know. I just feel like all my life I've been so lost in my identity, and it just really shapes me for the person I am today. Yeah.
Nice. So is that like your ending point?
Nah, I mean, if you have any questions, but I'm definitely gonna stick around for a while
All
to
right.
talk about other stuff.
So now that we got your
You
input,
did
I
it.
feel like we should get
Identity?
what?
That's it. I just thought of Erickson's life stages when I thought of that identity.
We learned that in Cat North. I gotta
Yeah.
search it up again. American. Oh,
So
oh,
that's
yes.
when
The
fidelity.
pyramid
What
is
does
like the.
fidelity mean? Fidelity.
No, no, I learned that in
Um,
psych. Never mind, never mind. It was in psych that I learned it, Eric. Oh, bro, thank you
yeah,
for giving that
psych
up.
was
That's what I wrote in my
yeah,
notes. That's what I wrote in my notes. Yes. Identity versus
fidelity.
confusion. That's where
Yeah.
I am. Wait. Or is it intimacy versus isolation? Oh shit, nah, it's not that. Okay.
Look up what
So,
fidelity means.
yeah. Okay, so Jeremy, there's 8. Jeremy has never taken psych before. That's crazy.
Nah,
You're like the only
he's a little
person I know
dunce.
who's never taken psych. You there, Jeremy?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm saying
Jeremy,
you're like
what?
the only
Jeremy's an
person I
artist.
know who's never taken psych, like psychology. Like everyone I know, I think you're
Yeah,
the only person
I
I
feel
know.
left out.
It's fine, but you're gonna take it in college anyways, right? Are you taking
He can
psych?
draw a
I don't know.
banger. He can draw a banger
Okay,
thumbnail, but he don't know what Erickson's life stage means.
okay.
It's okay.
So Erican's stages of development is basically made by a psychologist who developed like influential like theories of like certain developments that you grow up in life. There's like 8 of them, and there's one called identity versus confusion, and that usually ranges when you're 12 to 18. Literally, obviously, since I'm a late bloomer, literally, I'm at the super end of the spectrum. Like Jonathan was probably like 15 or like 14, like where he started. You, Jeremy, you were probably like 16, 15. I was like 18. Like that's where like only a couple months ago, that's where like I started to really think about my life or like my identity. So that's where I was right now. I'm a little slower or like a little behind other people. That's where I am right now. And basically, what identity versus confusion is basically like you ask yourself like who you are, like what you want to do in life, like exploring like your independence and just like your
Yeah,
stage of like your virtues in your relationships with other people. What it is.
right. His priority, I would say your priority right now, yeah, is
Yeah.
towards hmm, obligation, I would say. And like,
Yeah.
what is fidelity? Faithfulness,
Yes.
obligations, duties, and
But
observation.
I'm
Yeah.
not worried at all when I go to call. Nope. I gotta wait 6 minutes so I talk about school. Um. I guess do you want to guys say something? I know I kind of basically took up the whole
Yeah,
Jeremy,
podcast.
so
please say something, dude.
what?
Jeremy, you're
You've
good.
been
No, no, no,
so
no.
you've been muted your mic too
Okay, okay,
much.
fine. I give. Okay, I'll be honest. He does, but I'll give him the
I
benefit
do
of the
what?
doubt that you kind of do not talk too much. But I'm giving you like a leniency, like actually like per pure leniency for this one. Like this was
Yeah, you're being a
basically
choose goose,
I'm gonna
dude.
like I was kind of like a special guest, and I kind of
Right.
took the whole like star of the
Like
show thing.
I'm kind of
But
like
like,
the
but you're good.
audience here.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like
yeah. You're the audience.
cuz I'm
But
learning all
I
this
do
new shit from
notice,
you.
I do notice that like for you and Jonathan, like Jonathan does usually talk more. But like I said, I know who you are, the type of person you are, and like you're trying. Like you do show development, but like I guess construction criticism. Wait, do you want to just end the podcast and just cut
You're
this
only
part
good
out?
at art.
No, no, no. I still want to get Jonathan's input.
Your
Or
purpose
what?
is only in art.
Like his kind of like
Philosophy?
no, his input on what you were saying. Like his
Oh, all right, all right.
so
You knocked him off track.
No, he's waiting for you, bro.
Oh wait, what did I say? What was I saying?
No, I was saying I want your input. Like, what do you think of this? Like, what his story
This.
basically?
Oh, like
Like,
overall?
or you can
Are we?
also
Are we?
insert
Oh,
like
bitch.
We're
what?
coming near ending it? Oh, we are. It's almost 9. Okay.
We're not ending it yet, but like,
Yeah, we're about it. We can end it right now. Like, thank you guys for watching.
oh,
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
only thing I was saying is that I feel like Jonathan should give his
Sure.
Me?
input.
What? You.
No,
You talk.
no, no, no.
Like, I've been questioning him the whole
Right,
time.
but like, I'm
You've been like,
interested in like what you
guys, I
think
gotta
about
fart.
it.
I'm gonna mute my mic.
You bitch.
What do I think about? I mean,
Like compare, like considering your own life.
oh, oh, yeah. What I found really interesting is the way we developed, in the regard that not so much the father figure, but just the how prevalent the internet was for each of us. Because like there was times where I would just kind of have a desire. I would look at a desktop and I'd be like, I wonder if I can like, get on that. I remember I have a story of this instance where like I just saw a computer at a Sears, and out of curiosity, I just tried to find a way to find YouTube on it, and I somehow found like a loophole.
Right,
And
yeah,
that was
you
kind of
did
like one of the
mention that.
moments where I was like, yeah. And I like managed to kind of break the Sears computer so that I could watch YouTube on it. And like that was, and I used to like go on my mom's phone a lot. I used to just go on their phone and play games and YouTube videos. And I used to have an Xbox, and my parents bought me an Xbox One for
Still
my
game.
birthday. I actually tried to sell it, but like I couldn't because nobody wants that. Everybody wants the new console.
I'm gonna be real. I think you should keep it. Like, I guess it's kind of for nostalgia or
I
like.
already like saved the game clips and stuff, but I have it in my basement.
Hey, it's like it's time you
I'm gonna
connected.
keep. I'm gonna keep that. No, no, hell no. I don't like to
You,
play that. I don't
you
even
don't play
like
with.
to have it in my
Wait, you don't.
save.
You stop. You don't play with comeback anymore, like games and stuff, like Rust or
Honestly,
whatever. I thought
He's
you guys
a
no.
did.
I don't
non-gamer.
like gaming.
I think you
I've
mentioned that in
just
the last
stopped.
pod.
Yeah, I
I
said
didn't
that. I'm
finish
gonna
it.
cut off that. I'm gonna cut off that part of
What part?
me being a gamer. I don't really enjoy it anymore. I feel like I had to grow up, and
Oh, right, right,
I mean,
For me,
for me, it's like part of growing up. You gotta just
yeah,
quit playing games.
yeah.
right. For
For
me, it's
me, it's
because
like
I do.
it's-
I
for
do you.
me and
Oh, go ahead, go
I
ahead.
I'm a
think
little guilty.
for me and
I do
Jeremy,
watch people play games.
Right.
I think it's like once in a while thing. Like I'm not gonna give it up 100%, but I'm not gonna make it like a daily thing. If that makes
Yeah.
sense. It's whenever I have
The
time.
fuck shit
'Cause I always come and go. Like I'm that type of person who, like plays it whenever they can. You know, like that's how we are. Cause we kind of play Fortnite or whatever sometimes. We don't really play too much. Or like just like games like that or like Minecraft or like.
Speak for yourself, kid.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Well, I've been playing mainly because I stream and shit. But in the future, I think it'll still be part of my life, but not as
Yeah, me
much.
too. Yeah.
You know what grooming is, Jeremy?
What the fuck?
Only little kids play Minecraft, Jeremy. You're not gonna meet like UT or anything on Minecraft.
You're
You're gonna meet some like
crazy.
little jit that has TikTok.
You're-
Yeah,
Jeremy be on
but
that
about my
grooming
friend, like
grind.
we just shared a lot of like similarities and like it's like he's helped me like become
right.
like
Yeah,
closer
I don't think I'm gonna
with
meet someone
it's a first
online.
time. Yeah,
I'm not gonna
I got
talk to
lucky, and it was
kids.
during.
An online date?
I feel like everything happens for a reason. Whether it's like a rejection letter, whether it's something that happens significant in your life. Like I always have that reassurance that like it's okay. This is what Allah wanted, but that doesn't give like the excuse like to do whatever you want, or you have to have like good intentions. Like if
Right.
something purely just happens out of coincidence or something, then it's okay. But you can't like take advantage of it because obviously Allah knows everything. Like He knows your intentions. Like He
Yeah.
knows you can never deceive, you can never lie like to him. Like he knows everything, you
Right.
know, like the all knowing, yeah. But like I would
Omnipotent.
say I've never had a friend that was that influential to me before, but he's a really good guy. But yeah, it's inspiring too,
I
like I said, because
feel
he's
like
able to balance both.
should we just cut off or just end the pod here or
Yeah,
do like a part
like
two
yeah, yeah.
where Jonathan and I can tell our own
You could talk.
stories,
You can
Okay,
negotiate
yeah,
back
yeah.
and
You
forth.
guys could do part two.
or we can just end it and like make it easier for ourselves. What do you think, Jonathan?
I mean, like you don't have to like make the decision right now. Like we're not gonna edit in like one day because Jeremy's pretty slow. But
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, you can have up to like 3 days. Nah, that
Who
man,
said, "Oh yeah"?
you are lazy bones. All you're good for is editing and farting. I bet you don't even know what the word rat race means. You don't.
Eating.
You still don't. I bet you don't remember what the word
I
rat race
do.
means.
It's like the chain.
Oh, it's
The
not.
worker. Yes.
Yo, end
no.
the podcast. This kid learned nothing.
Fuck you guys.
I wasn't.
I
I
bet you
didn't
guys
say
studied
shit.
that.
Oh, I did not. Maybe Jonathan read a book
You had a
or something.
pop
It's crazy
quiz.
how like even I have a little bit. I didn't make a bunch of notes, but I like pondered on that a lot. And Hamad actually has notes, and you don't have any notes. Let that sink in. You have no notes, Jeremy. You did no research.
Yeah.
All right, all right. Jeremy does
Okay.
edit the stuff at least.
Yeah, I edit,
Okay.
bitch.
You know what? Unsubscribe. Unsubscribe.
Man. Also, Jeremy, I was joking. That wasn't me. I didn't sub. Well, I'm like, oh, so I was just making that.
I had a feeling, bro.
He
'Cause-
subbed 22 times.
I had a feeling. I was like, is this actually him?
Imagine not having 1K subscribers.
Wait, who is? There's this one dude.
GWAD's
fat?
fattest fan. Who is that?
It's like-
GWAD's fattest fan. If you're watching this right now,
Yo, lose some weight, fatty.
yo, that is fucking.
Yo, watch that
is
push-up video.
hilarious.
We did
Stop
like a gym
eating. Stop.
on one of the podcasts. We did like do push-ups right now.
Yeah,
I remember that. I
Watch
remember
that. Watch that
crazy.
podcast.
I think I watched that one.
bro. Just seeing how far we've come is crazy.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
Crazy.
I haven't
That was
really
crazy
come
ones.
that far yet. It was
I'm
just,
talking
the
about the
beginning.
pod.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, we're gonna
We've come
be.
so far.
Do you want to cut? Do you want to end the pod now? And be like, hey guys.
All right, guys.
End of the pipeline.
You can end it, Jonathan. I did the.
All right, everybody. That's the end of the podcast.
Thank you
Part
guys
two.
for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe. See you guys in the next video.
Wait, guys. Join the Discord. Leave comments, and yeah, that's it.
Join
you
or you get
guys.
no bitches. See you guys.
Whoa.
Peace out. Edit that part out.
Oh, we didn't do we didn't. We actually didn't do the piece.
Oh, are we doing it? We can do it.
See you guys.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
That?
that? We
No,
can
no,
do
no,
that
no,
too.
no,
No,
because
no,
that's
that's not
copyright.
necessary. Okay.
Is it? I'm pretty sure that's
Bro
copyright.
said copyright.
We can just
We
do.
have every video copyrighted.
Yeah, I'll be
So that
changing. I'll
intro
be changing
yours.
the intro. I want to change it.
Exactly.
End
Giving
the
all this
pod
money
now.
to this bozo.
I'm gonna. If we ever do get like monetized, I'll probably go back and remove those parts, like the sound.
Alright.
All right,
End the
guys.
pod.
Oh, should we count down? Let me
All right,
play the
everybody.
noise. We'll say it's been real, or what is it?
You want to play like the music pod or something?
No, I'll play like the.
You don't need to play any music.
That's not the music.
hell?
Kid. You know how much you're gonna have
That's
to
just
edit because you keep
cringe.
messing
I
around.
know. That's just too cringe, bro.
Yeah, you're
Bro, it's a
cringy, Jeremy.
soundboard.
All right, guys. It's been real. Peace.
Alright, guys. Peace.
You suck ass at that time, man.
Okay, listen, kid.